Alright folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join me in the wild landscape of Scotland. And today we've come to make this short little video here in the beautiful landscape of Glen Prosen. And yeah, it's a wee bit windy, so I do apologise for that in the audio. But this is like the remains of a little farm croft down here, or a wee shed. And there's an interesting story to one of the crofts that's up here at Glen Prosen. The story is that the old crofter that used to have the croft, apparently he used to stash his money in the wall somewhere on his farm, either in the farmhouse or some of the outside walls. And that used to be the notorious story of the area. And seemingly when he died, people used to go and start taking the walls down and stuff, trying to find where he stashed the money. So that's an interesting little story of the area. I thought it's worth sharing here on this video, and to give the story a bit of character, and to let you see what sort of landscape the boys' croft had been in. And I thought I would show you this. This might have been the croft, because all that occurred at a croft in this glen, which is cool to think about. With this little Scottish glens like Prosen here, there was so many of these crofts. There would have maybe been like 5 or 6 the whole way up here. There's another one further up, but it's now been made into a new house. They've kind of redeveloped the area. That's how I thought it was cool to come to this one. It's kind of miles away from you, and it's only sheep in this area here. And it's interesting just to share the story of that old crofter. And it's crazy to think that people used to come here and try and find that, and they actually took the whole building down and all the walls, trying to find the boys' stash of money, which they never found. But it could just be like one of those old local tales that the youths used to believe. It's way back in the 1900s that all occurred, like early 1900s and stuff. Apparently the youths used to cycle out from Kerry and they would spend their holidays camping, looking for the treasure. And I love little stories like that from the glens. It's a little bit of the history of the glen, which will get forgotten over generations. But it looks like this structure here had been a lot bigger at one time. Maybe this is the... Wow, that pheasant flew right out in front of us. Gave us the fright of the life, folks. But yeah, this may have actually been the very croft where that story occurred. And it's cool to think about that history. You can see how the building at this end has been taken off. It's no longer here. And just check out the view, look at the way down there. Glen Prosen's one of the best looking glens. The scenery, it's just magical. This is now just obviously sheep and cows that go in here. Look, the roof's just fallen right in. Probably this would have been the croft's main shed at one time. Yeah, buildings like this just get demolished over the years in the wild Scottish landscape. It looks like this has had a serious amount going on here at one time though, because there's this has obviously been the house kind of bit here, but there's actually stonework leading on right out here and way over there. So we'll go and take a quick look. I was going to just have this short video to tell the story of that, almost a treasure hunt of the glen for the boys' buried hidden treasure. But it's cool also to find the history and document this as well, because it's an abandoned croft, unseen on the channel, and I love just bringing loads of different history that I've never seen before. It blows my mind exploring new things and new places. Check the way that is built up. Just think 1700s and maybe even older times. There was a thriving farm here. It might have even had a water wheel, because I can see remains of a track of water coming down the hill. There's been a ditch. I'm going to head on over because there's more stonework all the way around here. There's trees growing out of it and stuff nowadays, but wow, this whole area here has been landscaped. See, it's had a water, little ditch kind of bit here. What would the word be? It's like a dam, a little farm dam. Sometimes they would have had a water wheel or something. This is crazy, folks. I don't want to get wet feet. I'm going to have to be so careful. I was wanting to cross that as well. Crazy scenes out here. That's why it's like a bog. I'll go around the bottom side of here. I'm wanting to see what this stone construction is at the other side. Look, you can see how this has all been built at one time. The wind is pure gusting right there. Yeah, I love just exploring stuff like this and trying to figure out what was there. All I could see from the road was this tin roof and that little wall, and that's what reminded me of the cool story from this glen. Yeah, look at this, so you can get an aspect of it. All this is built up. It's all been a proper construction. It's been a bigger croft than what I first imagined when I saw the roof. I'm just keeping the camera rolling here, folks. The viewers are on this adventure with me. Well, you can see remains of what must have been like an old dike line here. This is where the little croft had all its fields. And you have to imagine, hundreds of years ago, a lot of this, wow, my feet just went right into the stinking water, folks, and that's what happens on these adventures sometimes. Proper hill bog water. Stinking bog water, folks. Wow, look at this. See, this is another structure here. Real history right here once again, folks, and it just comes out of the blue. It's like this has been quite a thick walled big structure. Farms like this would have been in their prime when it was just horses and stuff they used. Often cows they would even use to power along certain things. It's crazy, the groundwork here. You can see at one time it's all been dug out and there's big massive stones marking old dike lines and stuff, and often that's it. You can tell by the lie of the land. You can often see the history. And that's how I can also see there's been like a water source coming down the hill. Maybe from a little like dam further up the hill that doesn't even exist now. Look at this, folks, there's a massive stone here. The view, when you turn around this way, the view is just so magical, but also the wind's strong because it's just coming right off those hills. Crazy autumn conditions, folks. Yeah, look, that massive stone is what I came to look at, but I think it is just part of a building or whatever that's been here. A lot of this has been built up. It's almost like there's been kind of little sections in there for animals, maybe pigs or whatever. Yeah, this is crazy, folks. I'm just like traipsing through the wild landscape. I noticed this though, look. I don't know what it is, some old abandoned like oil lids or something. Yeah, these bits are all separate like squares. It's like it's been little booths and maybe a shed. It's like it's had a tin roof over it, and then the sheep or whatever animal it's been can just go around there and graze. That was maybe even where they kept their horses. If it was quite a big farm, which it looks like it was, back in the old days of Scotland, they might have had 2 or 3 horses. And there's definitely been stuff going on in this whole area here as well. And then the little story about that hidden treasure in the glen, folks, that's what this video is all about. It was one of these little crofts that happened, and for years after the boy died, the people came and tore it down, tore it apart, looking for the hidden money. And yeah, we'll never know if anybody ever found it. Or it might have not even been hidden in the first place too. That can be old folklore of the glen. Little stories like that, passed down between generations. Anyway, I'm way to head back up to the main road, folks. It's been a short video, but it's often cool just to share the history. A wee building, a wee croft area like that. There's not much left because the sheep just go right over it. I'm going to end it here. Thanks very much for watching. I'll be back very soon with the next one.